Good.
Okay. Well, I'm really glad y'all are here tonight with us, and welcome to the call. This is really exciting, actually, that we have so many people on the call. So if y'all are here and I haven't, if y'all have never seen me face to face, I think everybody I've met, I'm pretty sure almost everybody here I've met. So I'm Taryn, and I'm really just, like I said, very thankful that y'all are here. I'm excited about all that's happening in Plexus. I think it's going to give us another boost in the right direction, and I'm super excited to already be starting the new product. And so I'm very, very thankful to Julie tonight for kind of helping to put together the agenda. And I know that we have a lot of really great knowledge on our team with product knowledge, and I'm just excited to kind of do this jointly. She put together an agenda for us, and we're kind of going to do this as a group effort. So y'all just kind of, I know everybody's on mute, but please, participate by, Julie will explain more how to participate. But Julie's going to kind of kick things off for us now, and then we'll go through kind of our little agenda, but then we want it to be to where we can ask questions and that kind of thing too. So I'll go ahead and give it over to you, Julie.
Okay, thank you, Taryn. Welcome, everybody. I'm Julie Gooden. I am one of Taryn's level ones, and I'm in Colorado. So now you have a face with a name with a place. Super excited about the new Slim, guys. I kid you not, I had tears in my eyes when they were announcing it, because I think, not that I ever had a fleeting doubt, but being reconfirmed that this company has basically put its lighthouse out there and is shining the same tune every year, in fact enhancing what they say they're going to do, just kind of set me in this emotional moment where I felt like, oh my gosh, they didn't just come out with 3 flavors, for instance. They made it to where it is that triplex now. Slim makes even more sense in the triplex than it did before. So they, not only that, but their trajectory is just dead ahead. They are stopping at nothing to be different, and technology and health supplementation, like research that we haven't even known is happening. The articles that you guys are reading on some of this stuff, especially some of the recent videos on microbiomes and such, those are only done in the last 5 years. Like, this isn't stuff from the 1970s that's just now getting resurrected. This is all new and cutting edge. And I got a little bit teary because I was just very proud to be part of it. Anyway, so what is the new Slim? There may be some of you wondering, if you haven't read already, like, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is basically that they've added prebiotics. The prebiotics is huge. I'll explain that to you in just a minute. They also doctored around with some of the ingredients. They put a patent pending on it. Thank you. I think Vonda must have added that for me. I was sitting here going, hey, I didn't write that. There's a patent pending on it. So I don't know if you've seen, like, I think Costco or Walmart or something has just like Slim, and it's something you can buy that's a pink powder. So now people can't try to copy us. So we are safeguarding our flagship, our high sellers, so that we're not going to go out of business with somebody trying to duplicate it. Which leads us to making Plexus even more of a legacy company. It can't be duplicated. It is cutting edge. We are at the top of the market doing what we said we were going to do and sticking to it. So very, very proud moment. They did change the flavor for those who haven't tasted it. It is not, I thought at first, a watermelon, raspberry, or lemon option. All 3 of those are found in the flavor when you take a drink. So I just had mine for the first time tonight. My delivery just came today. So when my nose goes to the bottle, you smell watermelon off the top. But I think personally on the kind of on the back end is where I tasted that lemon. I still haven't found the raspberry, but to each their own. It's okay. They took it less calories. I mean, it wasn't very high in calories anyway. It was 10, but they cut it in half, and now it's 5. They took out polydextrose. So polydextrose was our insoluble. It's a synthetic soluble fiber that they had in there before. Main reason why we struggled to call it natural. And they took that out. So that's not in there at all. Now, they're still not putting natural on the label. So something that we haven't quite figured out about this isn't quite, didn't get the stamp on it. but polydextrose is out. And some people had allergies. I actually had a customer with an allergy to polydextrose, so I'm pretty happy about that. I put cold water in my glass and I dumped the packet in, and I may have shook it 3 times and it was mixed. Like that's amazing. Like I was super impressed. And it looks like a watermelon color. Bizarre. So the prebiotic, what are prebiotics? Why do you care? Why am I emotional about this? So our company has come to a place where we are landing on blood sugar, gut health, and inflammation. Those are our 3 big factors. So they added a gut health aspect. Polydextrose is also a prebiotic. I don't think it's a prebiotic that was as powerful as XOS is. XOS is the prebiotic they added this recently. But prebiotics fuel our good bacteria. So they are the grass for the cows. It is gasoline for your car. It is what makes good bacteria grow in a good environment. So you want to feed that good bacteria. They picked a prebiotic on purpose. And I'm sure that they already knew what they were doing when they got into it, but I'm super curious if we ever find out if they tried other ones also. But they picked one that showed over a 3-week period significant growth in good bacteria, 5 different good bacterias. Now, I'm sure other ones could have grown as well, but there's not significant results to be able to say so. And they did all these studies in Europe. So why did they do these studies in Europe? Well, Europe has very, very strict study standards. And I have my own belief about this, and I have no knowledge of this, but I kind of wonder if they're going to open a European market and they already have the European standard for testing done. It's a higher quality anyway for the rest of us, and it probably is enough that helps Australia, Canada, and New Zealand get their okay for the new Slim because it was done there. But in the heart of hearts, I really hope that means Europe might be coming along sometime soon, which would be super exciting. So what we need to talk about is the magic. This XOS prebiotic being added to Slim. What is the magic? And we're each going to take a turn talking about these magical things that are happening with these good bacteria and why what this good bacteria does. So when you have hundreds of times increase, what you would expect to hope to see based on what that bacteria is known to do. So Angela is going to kick us off, and it's with the first and most, what's the word I'm looking for? The bacteria that is raised the most. So we're going in order from which one has the most increase to the least increase, just so that you guys know the importance of each of them. So Angela, you're up with lactobacillus.
Okay, so I'm unmuted. I'm part of the, I made the cut, here I am. Okay, so I just want to let everybody know that when you, I don't know what y'all do, this is what I do, is I go to Pinterest on Google, and I put in whatever word or ingredient I'm looking up, and not only is there definitions, but there's pictures. So if you're a visual learner, it's great. So my bacteria is lactobacillus, lactobacillus, and then there's a second word to it, acidophilus, acidophilus. Side note, I was an advertising major and took not a lot of science, so I really don't know how to say these words. But I will tell you, as I was looking these up, this is really exciting. So what this bacteria does, it reintroduces good bacteria back into your gut. And it's also thought to lower cholesterol. So there were 2 studies that found after consuming lactobacillus acidophilus, cholesterol levels actually dropped as much as 2.4% in one study and 3.2% in another study. And having high cholesterol myself, that's pretty darn exciting. It's also been associated with depression and anxiety treatment, and it's thought to have mood-enhancing properties. And it's also beneficial for treatment for diarrhea, IBS, Helicobacter pylori, and inflammation of the gastrointestinal tract. And by the way, side note, years ago, I had Helicobacter pylori, and I had to take antibiotics for 8 weeks, and it was miserable. I'm just telling y'all. So the fact that this is beneficial for that treatment is great. And the other thing that it does is so in layman terms, it relieves gas, bloating, improves lactose intolerance. It's shown 61% reduction in E. coli, lower cholesterol levels, and ready, it creates vitamin K. And so then I was like, well, what the heck does vitamin K do? Remember, I'm an advertising major. So I looked up vitamin K benefits. Supports heart health, improves bone density, helps with PMS. What? Fights cancer, helps blood clotting. Everywhere, vitamin K helps blood clotting. That was everywhere. Improves brain function and helps maintain teeth and gums. So that's it. So that's the excitement with the lactobacillus. Julie?
That's pretty awesome. I'm taking notes over here. I'm sitting here going, anxiety.
Yeah. Well, and I sit and I think about, like, with some of these things, it's like IBS. I have so many friends that use Plexus for IBS and swear by it. And it's done wonders for them. And then that this is even more help for that is great. And then everything else I just mentioned. So
that is pretty darn awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. So we're going to move to Miss Casey. And I would love to say I know how to say this word, but it is bifidobacterium.
Yeah, I only learned how to say it from watching Jennifer Pickett's video earlier, so don't worry about it.
We all learn something every single day. Ironically, the bacteria, the lactobacillus, and the
Bifidobacterium.
Thank you. Are both actually in Probio 5 as well, for those who have not made that connection.
Okay, so I'm Casey. Hello, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there that I'm a blip, okay? Julie and I had this conversation via message. I am not the research girl. I do not care about bifidobacterium. I just like that it works and that I feel good and that other people feel good and are seeing results. I don't know these fancy names. So this is a stretch for me, and Julie is making me stretch, and I'm appreciative of that. So here we go. Okay, so I did a little research today. Bifidobacterium is going to be increased 290 times in our gut from this new XOS prebiotic that we're adding. And it is considered a shy bacteria, okay? So it's anaerobic. It does not like living in an oxygen-rich environment. It's hard to find. Turns out, oddly enough, when we are newborns, it is found in our GI tract when we're newborns, and it's found in breast milk. So it's some of the very first bacterium that's introduced into our gut. So it produces a short-chain fatty acid that's effective in reducing the growth of yeast and mold that turns into lactic acid. See Julie's face? Look at Julie's face. Everyone look at Julie. So lactic acid is what builds up when your muscles are sore. So this is going to help us recover more quickly because Plexus is a tool in our tool belt. It's not going to do all the work for us, right? So if you're working out, this is going to help your muscles recover more quickly because it's going to stop the yeast and the mold from building up. Okay, so that's number one. Keep that in mind. Then what this bacterium does is it attaches to the cells of our intestine and to help protect the physical lining of your intestinal walls, and it's going to keep the toxins and the germs from damaging the lining of your intestinal walls. Well, what that means is it's going to help prevent us from getting sick, guys. It's going to help our immune system. So not only are you going to recover more quickly from workouts, you're also not going to be sick. So you can keep working out. It's going to be great. Like, good things are happening. And then just like Angela said, it's going to help our body produce vitamins like biotin, B12, and K2. So she already talked about vitamin K. I know that biotin helps with hair hair growth and nail growth. I did not go the extra step like Angela did and research what these things do. This is just what I know. So, I mean, you're just taking my word for it here. But not being a research person, I was kind of excited to learn those things. There's a lot more research out there. It helps regulate intestinal homeostasis. I read in one site that it helps with the repression of pre-carcinogenic enzymes. So that's huge. I mean, we are really getting to the root of these health issues. I know Plexus, we started with the breast health, but I mean, this is even deeper than just, oh, let's check for a lump. Like, this is before we're even sick. So that's my 2 cents. But for not being a research person, it was pretty cool.
That was great. I'm glad your blue is mixing with a little green. Awesome. I asked her if she wanted to do something. She goes, Julie, I'm a blue. I'm like, that's okay. Blue's hot. You have to do something. That's awesome. Thank you, Casey.
You're welcome.
All right, now the good bacteria we've kind of been waiting for. I mean, honestly, they told us we should learn this word. If you haven't learned to say Akkermansia, then you need to say it 10 times now. Akkermansia. I'm not going to say it 10 times. It looks like a long word. And my customer, actually she's an ambassador of mine, who's been kind of dormant. I was telling her about this the other day, and she goes, that sounds like a Harry Potter spell. And I said, oh, that's hilarious. She just wrote me and said she found it in the Chamber of Secrets, and it was a spell in Harry Potter. That is awesome. Which magical is all I can say. It's in Harry Potter. So can you tell us about Akkermansia, Miss Vonda?
I can. I am Vonda. I am in Texas. And Casey, I am green. So the flip side there, yeah, I can do the research, but you're more comfortable talking. So there's pluses and minuses to everything, right? So I'm the one going, oh my gosh, I have to talk now. Okay, so first of all, Julie, I wanted to add one more thing on the XOS. You were talking about the, why they chose that particular prebiotic. And one thing I read somewhere or heard it was that the XOS is superior to some of the other ones because it feeds only the good bacteria, where some of the others will feed the bad. So I thought that was really, so we got, as you fixed it up, so it's superior. Okay, so everyone, Akkermansia. Now, if you watch Jennifer Pickett's video, that accent of hers, she's saying Akkermansia. I think it's Akkermansia. If you listen to hers, it's Akra. Okay, so the Akkermansia, here's the tough one, mucinifera is the full term, mucinifera, which is spelled M-U-C, well, let me back up. Akkermansia is A-K-K-E-R-M-A-N-S-I-A, and mucinifera is M-U-C-I-N-I-P-H-I-L-A. So that was discovered back in, I forget when, but it was Dr. Antoon Akkermans. So that's where the name comes from, Akkermans, the doctor. He's a Dutch microbiologist. So interestingly, mucinifera means lover of mucin. And our XOS prebiotic feeds Akkermansia by stimulating more production of the mucin. So these metabolism enhancing microbes were greatly increased by the 250 times she referenced, and that's in that clinical testing that she mentioned earlier in Europe. So please note that Akkermansia is not the ingredient in Slim, but it is the beneficial result of the added XOS prebiotic. One, I think, good summary that I found that was in English for us non-science people. It was an article in Science Daily, and it was titled Intestinal Bacterium Akkermansia Curbs Obesity. And it summarized it as a dominant and useful bacterium that is present in the intestinal system of all humans, from babies to the elderly. This microorganism is found in the intestinal mucus layer that protects against intruders. Even more remarkable is that this bacterium has a favorable effect on the disruptive metabolism associated with obesity. So it's no surprise to know that those that are obese or struggling with metabolic disorder, type 2 diabetes included in that metabolic disorders, typically have low levels of Akkermansia. So really the key points that you need, do you have to be able to say Akkermansia? Well, yeah, it's great if you practice it, but if you are telling someone about it and you forget, I don't know how to say that, just remember that it is a very beneficial bacterium for our microbiome, and that it is linked to obesity. So the key points, though, that I would probably say write down are: remember that it is clinically tested. And as Julie mentioned earlier, this is the forefront of health supplements. This is new, and Akkermansia has been deemed the weight loss bacteria. So that's something to probably be easy to remember, that it is the weight loss bacteria. It does increase metabolism. And I love this part. So it's a healthy bacteria, and it's a talker. So just as Casey's, she said it's a shy one, I think was the term she used. So this is a talker. It's very talkative. And so it's talking with your other bacteria and your body processes. So it's actually creating a mutually beneficial relationship with you, the host. So it's only going to benefit the other beneficial bacteria that it's in you. It is an anti-inflammatory. So as inflammation decreases, weight loss occurs. And then another one would be it helps repair a disturbed metabolism, which is associated with obesity, inflammation, and type 2 diabetes. And the last thing is really just considering that the bacteria helps protect and build the intestinal wall, again, increasing that healthy mucus layer of the wall. Just be thinking about friends and family that we can help who are suffering with serious gut issues, some that have already been named, of course. So that's all I have.
Okay. Ooh. Is it me? Yeah, I don't hear it anymore. Were you hearing the feedback? Anyone nod? Yes, okay, thank you. It might have been my phone next to the computer that was the problem. Say the last part one more time, Vonda. That's from Jody.
Were y'all hearing feedback when I was talking?
No, I think it was just me.
Okay. The very last part about the building the intestinal wall, the mucus, who was asking?
It was Jody.
I think what you're talking about is that it helps repair disturbed metabolisms that's caused by like obesity, type 2 diabetes, and something. Maybe that's what you're talking about. Is that it, Jody? Okay. I'm a good note taker.
Ruby.
Sorry. That background noise is in fact a dog.
That's awesome. Okay, so we have two more good bacterias that are increased, and granted, we've gone from 365 times with lactobacillus to 290 with, I'm going to get this right. I just have to read it. Bifidobacterium. That's 290%, and then Akkermansia is 265, I believe. Nope, 250. It's 250. So now the next two Taryn is going to do for us, and they're on smaller levels, but don't overlook them. I think you're going to be excited about them.
Okay, so I have a question while we're talking about that real quick, Julie. Yeah. Like when they say, because I know other people probably have this question too. So when they say increases by 365 times, increases by 290, well, like what do they mean exactly by that?
They mean that when they started this study, they measured all of those things, and then 3 weeks later, they measured them all again, and they increased.
Okay. I know that was kind of a basic question, but I've read that so many times now, and I was like, okay, somehow I missed, like, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. This full-time other gig I have going on kind of, it's a lot in my brain. So anyway, I'm a blue too, Casey. So I'm with you on that. And you know what? When I started this whole deal way back in October of 2013, I was a blue back then too. And like, I would just kind of learn like as much as I, like as much as I needed, which was not like, this large amount of information, to be able to get other people excited about it because it was helping me. I mean, I started it, y'all, because I had some hormonal issues, and that's, I needed some help, and it really helped me with my hormonal issues and mood and stuff. And so I started it for different reasons. When I first started Plexus way back then, I didn't necessarily need a weight loss type of thing, but somebody told me that it helped you with, irregular cycles and stuff like that. So I have a very different, a testimony. So anyway, I'm the blue, and I got excited about that. And, there were other girls getting excited about that stuff too. And then I added on the whole weight loss thing, and voila. And I happened to be, one of the few people selling in town, which also kind of helped. So these two words, you know what I thought of when Julie, because Julie had, she had the idea for this call for her team. And then I was like, hey, can we kind of join in with everybody? And so when I first read these words, I told y'all, butyrate and propionate. Here's what I thought of. Can y'all hear? Some of y'all might be too young to even know what that is, but there's this song called Mediate by NXS, and it has all the words that like all rhyme. And so that's what so now I'm going to like remember those every time because I don't know, it was kind of fun. Emulate, procrastinate. Anyway, so getting back to what we were talking about, these last two, when I looked them up, I knew nothing about these words, but here's what I found. It says here that butyrates are important as food for cells lining the colon. So without butyrates for energy, colon cells undergo I don't know how to say this word, self-digestion is what it is, and they die. So without this bacteria, colon cells actually die. So their short-chain fatty acids, which include butyrate, are produced by beneficial colonic bacteria or probiotics that feed on or ferment prebiotics, which are plant products that contain adequate amounts of dietary fiber. So their short-chain fatty acids, they benefit the cells of the colon by increasing energy production and cell proliferation, and may protect against colon cancer. So that's pretty cool. So I'm reading that off. I'm not a science girl either, so this is way out of my comfort zone. Reading this stuff, but I mean, I saw may protect against colon cancer. That's kind of a big deal. And then later in this same information, it says it possesses both preventative and therapeutic potential to counteract inflammation-mediated ulcerative colitis and colorectal cancer. So my dad actually deals with colitis, and so that's maybe oversharing, but it's something that it affects people, and it's an awful thing. So if this could help with inflammation to help someone like that, then let's try it. Along with all those other things, this is a really amazing, cool new product. So let's see, what else did I find? So that was the main stuff that I found on that. Y'all let me know, chime in, Julie, if you found anything else on that exact piece of information there. And then the other thing that I found on, what's my other word? Propionate was, hold on just a moment, please. I found, okay, so it's a major microbial oh my gosh, y'all, I can't even say these words. It's a microbial fermentation metabolite in the human gut with putative health effects that extend beyond the gut epithelium, really. Okay, so let's see. It's thought to lower lipogenesis, serum cholesterol levels, and carcinogenesis, oh my gosh, in other tissues. So this is good. It's helping with cholesterol as well, is what Angela was talking about. So let's see, what else did I find here? It could be a potent strategy to increase health effects from microbial carbonate fermentation. Y'all, I'm not doing so good on all this science stuff. Julie and Vonda, y'all are amazing. Like, y'all look at this kind of stuff all the time. So let's see, what else am I finding? Y'all, this was kind of last minute. It was a full day for me. So y'all, please forgive. I didn't find much on that last one. Did you find anything else, Julie? Like, chime right in if you did.
Very similar stuff, and I found it on like NCBI, which I go to. It's National Library of Medicine. So, yeah. But it's the intestinal short chain fatty acids that it creates and how it lowers cholesterol and.
Right. That's all I found. Cholesterol was the main thing. Sorry to. Yes.
Yeah. But I think it's pretty huge because now we have. Mm-hmm. Well, it already was great at regulating lipids, but now we have even a bigger reason to say it adds to the reduction of cholesterol. So that makes me really, really happy.
So yeah, I mean, the first one that I was talking about, I mean, could potentially, I mean, we can't ever say, we can't make the medical claims, obviously, we have to be careful about all that, but it says it may protect against colon cancer. That's pretty big. It says that it's important as food for cells lining the colon. It says without butyrates for energy, colon cells actually die. So this is good. So those are the kind of main points, and the cholesterol thing on the second part. So, I mean, the other ones are the probably biggest ones you need to talk about, obviously. They're the ones that have the greater increases. But
I was kind of wondering if those two, I don't know the answer. I'd love to ask, the science person about this, but do you not need as much of the, I'm going to say the byrate and propionate, and that's why it doesn't increase as much, because your body doesn't need it as much, whereas when you're in a acidic kind of, I always think of the gut microbiome like a war zone, but when you're in an area like that, you need as much as you can get, so you need it in plethora amounts, but those particular good bacteria you may not need as much of.
By the way, there's a T in that word. Like on your little outline here, you say B-U-Y, it's B-U-T-Y-R-A-T-E.
Oh, butyrate, yeah, thank you.
Letting you know, like, booty rate. That's what when I first saw booty rate. So there you go, yeah. And this just proves, like, see me being the team leader and like trying to explain this and looking like a fool. Like, this just proves that you can kind of narrow things down to like get what you need, you personally, and how you work in conversations talking about plexus. Get from this call what you think is best, and like make your little own script that you want to talk about. Like, Julie is more a science person, Vonda's more like science person. Sorry, those are my best two examples. I don't mean to leave y'all out. But, and then like I'm kind of a big cheerleader, and I just like talk stuff up and get excited about it. And a lot of people like that. And I know Angela's that way too. So,
story.
Yeah, right. So,
one thing I'll add on the butyrate.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Okay, so I know for me, sometimes the easier way is to think, who can we help, right? So one thing I found was that people with IBD, which is, again, I know this is not compliant, but inflammatory bowel disease, IBD. So those are things like Crohn's, colitis, but they have a reduced ability to metabolize butyrate. Huh. So that causes the inflammatory responses. So I would think the more you introduce into the system, the more that they have to metabolize. So think of people that in those categories that ingredient could help, or that bacteria could help.
Casey, go for it.
Hey, yeah, Casey.
My little greens, I have fabulous news for you. There are going to be scientists on hand at convention that you can go chat with about all your little green questions.
Yay!
I will not be chatting with them. I will send you and glean the information from you later.
I am so not green. It's so funny. I play green. in the movies. But I'm not green.
You're kind of a little bit of both. You kind of are, though. You kind of are.
I only do it when I have to do it. Like, it's
okay,
not
but you're kind of geekish. I mean, I can say this because I've known you my whole life, but then you're like really fun too. So it's a good combo.
Yeah, it cracks me up. Angela, you have something?
I know, I was like, hey, got a question. So and I didn't print out the Google Docs, I just knew my word. And I don't know what the rest of the agenda looks like, but I would like to hear how some people are processing this and going to verbalize it.
Okay, interesting, because that you're heading down to the next section.
You just stop it, because I didn't even look at it.
I was asking Vonda, like, okay, what all do we need to cover? She's like, we need to go over action steps. So I'm like, okay, we'll do that. So one thing we were saying is, how does this work with the triplex? And so there's a lot of people saying, and I think Celeste made a comment about it, or a post, do I not need the probio anymore? And good Lord, no, that is not the answer. Yes, there's 2 good bacteria that overlap a little bit in the probio, but kind of like taking your vitamin Bs, it's not going to hurt you to have more than you need. So it's fine. But at the same time, the synergistic way prebiotics and probiotics work is beautiful, especially if we're in a company that kind of has a bit of a weight loss flair to it. Although we are trying so hard to do blood sugar, gut health, inflammation, you can't deny that there is a pull for the weight loss population. So in saying that, you are boosting the potential of weight loss by reestablishing the microbiome. So it's absolutely tremendous. In fact, for a long time when I had friends who were having, let's just call them tummy issues, I would struggle with, how do I talk to them about Slim? I mean, I understand how you, on the cellular level, it can detox, and I get that, but how do I really feel good about it? And this has added such an element to it that it is a perfect package of growing the good, adding more good, and an antifungal. You can't beat an antifungal and digestive enzymes. I mean, you can't. Like, the whole system would fall apart without that piece. So the triplex is so much stronger than it was before, and that makes me super, super excited. The other note that Vonda made on here, and I have read that even in the FAQs, if you've gone to plexuslim.com, they have FAQs on the bottom, and they actually, I'm knocking things over, they actually make a comment for the first time that I've seen that says, initially it could cause gas and bloating as your body adjusts to it. They've never said that. You could say that about Slim or Probio 5, and they've never done that before, and now they're coming out giving people a heads up so that they don't freak out the first time they try it. So I'm pretty excited that I feel like we're getting on it. Honestly, we've gotten such a tight-lipped about everything, and I feel like the door is slowly opening again, that we can start having better, more creative conversations. So yes, triplex is still the answer to almost everything. But what do we do? Like, we have these great tools, and what do we do with it? Now, yes, you have samples that come in your action pack when you get it. You can give those away. I suppose you could sell them, but there's no retail value on them yet, so I don't know how that works. So you could give them away. We don't know when we're going to have access to buying our bags of Slim. Like, as far as we know, this is all we got, is the 2 bags. So I'm a little hesitant myself to give away too many samples because I don't want it to go away. Oh, you have the brochures. Yeah, the brochures came in the action pack as well. I haven't looked at my brochures. They're still in plastic. I was only interested in the Slim. So what do you do with it? I sent an email. Oh, those are pretty. I sent an email to all of my customers, past, present, all of my ambassadors, white line, green, blue, whatever color they were. And I did a mass email to all of them, and I explained what the new formulation was. And I explained if they were a white line, and especially if they've expired, how expired ambassadors, it's pretty easy to come back in. You just re-up for $34.95 and you're back in. You might not get a welcome pack for that because it might not have been long enough, but you can hop back in and get your register for the big reveal, work on the action pack, or if it has been long enough, you can get your welcome pack, which has a new Slim in it. So those are things that I have done so far. And I've also been trying to educate. I think teachers are so good at this job because they know how to educate. So I've been trying to, I'm not a teacher, but I've been trying to educate people by making XOS and acromancia and these words like curious, like leading to curiosity. Like, why do I need to know this word? What does she keep talking about? Posting articles about it. Tomorrow, first thing in the morning, there are 2 videos that are on there. And the videos are YouTube videos that were done in 2013. And they're talking about this crazy stuff called XOS and how amazing it is. And this was in studies with rats. And here we are already fast forwarding 4 years, and we're able to use it on humans because it's working. Like, there's a reason they're letting us do it. So it's very exciting. When you're using shareables, now, so Plexus has given us a bunch of shareables. There are videos, which are awesome, and there are graphics. I will give you a huge heads up. I'll give you 2 huge heads up if you have not figured this out. Never, ever straight up share a shareable just like it is. I think that's Facebook jail right away. Second, if Celeste or Jen or a very, very popular Jewel or Diamond Upline posts a picture or graphic, do not copy and paste it. Stick it, open Pic Collage, open Pic Stitch, pull that graphic, throw it on a different background, slap some words, urgent, just came in, over the top of it. People will get thrown in Facebook jail in 2 seconds flat because, oh, hold on, hand raised.
You can just add a filter too. I just do a filter.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Add a filter to it so that the coloring changes a little bit. Facebook just sees the algorithm of the picture itself. But you will get, we'll all get thrown, not all of us will get thrown in jail, but those who keep doing it will. So that the last time that happened. Yeah.
I was also going to tell everybody, like, so the other day, for example, Julie posted a video and then one of our teammates shared the video. So I'm friends with a lot of y'all on Facebook. So then I went to share the video and then I clicked on the video because I thought I'm sharing a video and I haven't even dang watched it. So maybe I'm not agreeing either. I thought I'm going to dang watch it. So I did. And when I went to it at the top right, it said Julie Gooden. So I would be leading everybody to Julie. What? I know she'd like that though.
I didn't notice that, but thanks. No.
Yes, that's one thing you always have to pay attention to is on those shareables, it will take you to that person's website. That's the whole point, so don't share those.
Yeah. And
I share your own. Figure out how to share your own shareable.
Yeah, and I can tell you how to get the embedded download video and stuff like that over a lot of them. I've struggled with some of them, but I've been able to pull them and stick them on YouTube and kind of have them for my own that I don't connect to my site. So I can figure it out. I'll help you. But yes, that's a good point, Angela. In my head, I was more concerned about the graphics. So if you pull a graphic off of the shareable and you use it, well, there's, I don't know how many thousands of ambassadors. They're all using that same graphic too. And if you're not careful and you all do it on the same day, then we're going to have a lot of unhappy people. So.
Would you be open to sharing whatever you put together as an email on Taryn's page or something so that we can just
I'll see how I can do that
with a blank screen?
Yeah, I did it on MailChimp. So I'll see if I can screen.
What is MailChimp?
So MailChimp is you can use it for businesses. Like I know Kim Pollock uses it for her nutrition business. It basically is a mass email technology. So I build my, I could even show you. You know what? I will stop recording in a minute and I will show you when we go through questions.
Okay.
Yeah. And that way I'll just show you what it looks like because it's awesome. It's like a little, your own personal graphical email.
Awesome.
One thing I can put on Taryn's page is I use Rebecca Folk's Diamond page to follow. And so she a lot of times will do verbiage and give that to her team. And so you can take that and modify it and it's usually pretty good.
Good idea.
I get stuff off of, like Jen Weatherman has a great page where she has really good stuff. I share that with y'all a lot. I'm on several pages too. Yeah, if you ever find nuggets like that on other team pages, please share. I try to do that for y'all if I find good things. One thing, Julie, I wanted you to also cover that we could maybe chat about is like when somebody says now, like with these packets that we're getting, in our stuff, like you said a minute ago, you could sell it, whatever. But I'm just saying, hey, do you want to at least taste it? Are y'all giving them like maybe 3 sticks, maybe like 1 stick? I mean, how are y'all doing it? I'm just kind of curious because I think that's really important.
I've been doing 1. I'm a little stingy.
That's me too.
Okay, 1 stick, then I'll do that.
I've been doing one.
Are you sending it like with your card, like with one of the brochures? I'm thinking, like, I don't know. What do y'all think?
I like that.
I think that's a good idea. And one thing that you might look for, and you've probably seen it, Chris McCall's little video. I thought it's quick, efficient, and so basically you're giving that sample. You say, would you like a free sample? Everyone likes free. People raise their hands for free. You hand that out, and then you follow up with, he said, and say this and stop. But he said, can I show you how to try it for 60 days risk-free? So you end with that free. So that, and he said, and stop. Don't say anything else. Don't talk about the product. Just focus on getting them started for risk-free with that 60 days.
Was that the one that was on the DDD page, or where was that at? I can't remember.
I don't know. You could just search Chris McCall. I can put it on your page if you want me to.
Yeah, no big deal. I remember seeing a video, but yeah, it was kind of like in passing. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and another thing on the trial packs, I know that I saw it somewhere, and you can still do the same price. If you want to sell the 7-day, it's $24.95, and the 3 days are $9.95. That's what they used to be.
Okay.
Yeah. I always sold them for $10. When I first started, y'all, that's how I got the whole thing off the ground. Is I sold trial packs for $10. And they actually retailed for $12.99 at the time, but I sold them for $10 because it was easy. If they wanted 2 of them, hand me a $20 bill. I would meet people at gas stations. I mean, I did crazy stuff.
Are there any questions that we have? I'm going to stop the recording and then just go through questions, if that's okay.